and people just don't really understand what I do, or how I can help businesses, or what a COO in general even does inside a business. So it inspired me to create this series. What the heck even is a COO, and why do I need one or not need one? So that's what I'm going to be exploring in this 12-part series. I'm going to go live every single day and talk about this topic to help people better understand if they need one and in what ways they may need a COO inside their business. And part of the reason that I was inspired to do this is I was at the Miami airport on my way to a business retreat, and I was hungry. I stopped to grab an empanada on my way out of the airport to the taxi stand, and I was really excited. They had this beautiful display of empanadas, and I picked out which one I wanted, and then I ordered, and I could tell that the woman had been speaking Spanish to the other people in front of me. When she spoke Spanish to me, I still responded in English, because a lot of times that just cues people to switch over, and she didn't. And I went, okay, I'm going to have to tap into my limited Spanish skills here, because I want to be kind and respectful, that I am doing business with this person who is choosing to speak to me in Spanish. So I ordered my empanada with my limited Spanish experience and then our abilities. And then she went on to ask me if I only wanted one, which I recognized, and I nodded my head. And then she went on to describe all of the other amazing empanadas in the case in Spanish. And I knew enough to understand that she was telling me how great the other options were and probably trying to persuade me to get more, but I didn't understand enough for it to be a yes. And so, as is always true, if there's confusion, the answer is always no. And I had to politely say no, thank you, I'm good with just the one, and smile and hope that I didn't seem rude. And so that is really what inspired this series. As I went, oh, of course, when there's confusion, the answer is going to be no. And so let me help people understand and clear up that confusion so that more people, whether it's with me or someone else, can get the help that they really deserve in their business through the support of a COO. Now, before I get into that, this Saturday, October 21st, I'm super jazzed to be doing an event where I'm going to be taking people through how to get a harness on their time, their focus, their energy, and really be able to make 2024 their best year yet. And we're going to be doing it in person. I really love working with people in all formats, but especially online, or getting off of the online platform and into a room together can be really special. And I decided I wanted to do that. So I'm going to be taking people through my process to plan out my year, to be able to optimize my time and really be able to work less. Like this year, I worked less than I ever have. I took 12 weeks of travel in my business. Almost a month of that was at one time traveling internationally, where I did not work in my business the whole time. It was a really special time. And I also was able to grow my business bigger than it has ever been and support more clients. And it's just been beautiful. And so I'm really excited to help other people do that. And if you get geeked out about planning, or you get overwhelmed with planning, but you know you need to do it, and having someone hold your hand through it so that you can create a plan that's actually doable, I'm your gal. Either way, we can geek out about it together, or I can hold your hand and go, I got you, I got you, I got you. Let's do this. So that's going to be next Saturday here in Chicago in the afternoon. It's going to be an experience. We're going to have some meals together, have some community together. And I'm throwing in a bonus that after Saturday, I'll do a follow-up one-on-one so that you feel really locked in to making sure that you feel ready to actually execute, and you're not just creating a plan that's going to go on a shelf and not get done, right? So the investment for that is $1,111. It covers your meals and the experience and your one-on-one, covers it all. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to let me know. Drop yes in the comments and I'll get you the details. But back into what we're talking about today, which is what the heck even is a COO. Oh, before I do though, one of the cool things that we're going to do is create one of these calendars, and whoever is joining me on Saturday, that is going to be kind of the icing on the cake, is that you're going to go home with a fully created, beautiful calendar like this. So anyway, back to the series though. So we're going to be talking about what the heck even is a COO. And part of the reason that there is this problem is that the role in the C-suite, it is the most elusive in nature. People know what a CEO is, at least to a certain degree. CFO, CHRO, like we have all of these understandings, but because the COO kind of tends to be a chameleon role, there are some overview of, obviously they're the chief operating officer. So obviously we understand that has something to do with operations, but sometimes we don't quite understand what can all go into that. So we're going to be breaking it down. Like I said, COO stands for Chief Operating Officer, and it's a crucial position in any company in the executive hierarchy. And if you think of like a ship or a company as a ship, the COO is really the one who helps navigate the waters and ensures the smooth sailing, right? They're right alongside the CEO, really navigating those waters. So in the corporate world, we use the language COO. Sometimes that language, and especially fractional COO, can get a little corporate-y for small business or for nonprofit, change maker, like social enterprise kind of spaces that I often work in. So I often say that it's just a fractional COO is just a fancy way of me saying that I'm a part-time contract leadership support person. So and the reason I say leadership support is because of the elusive nature of what a fractional COO or a COO in general does. Fractional just means that you're getting a part of my time, or your other, not just me, but a fraction of their time in order to support your business. And I really like that model, not just for the COO role, but for so many other positions. And I'm going to talk about that later in the series. But really, I want you to first understand really kind of like the 8 main types. Yes, I said 8 main types of COOs that exist in the world. And so really thinking about how they come into play depending on the type of business, the type of leader that already exists there, the size of the business, all of that. So the first type is the executor or doer. A lot of times the CEO, especially if it's a business owner, founder, has been sitting in the seat. They bring somebody in. Sometimes this is actually more of an operations manager or coordinator that kind of gets thrust into also having the responsibilities of the strategy and analytics of a COO. But that's why on my team, this is separate from me as a fractional COO, though sometimes I am being the executor doer. I also have team who is a part of that with me. So that is one option, one of the many hats or one of the many versions of COO that exist. The next is the change agent. This is another way that people sometimes work with me and sometimes bring in COOs in general, is that they're brought in originally to tackle a specific challenge and drive the change within the organization to solve that problem. Sometimes there is a bottleneck that's happened. Sometimes there's a department or area that's not working as well as we'd like. Maybe growth has become stagnant, some specific challenge or area that somebody can come in and help support, being that change agent. The third type is the mentor. I often am including some of this in my ways of working. This is usually where I am helping guide a CEO who may have some areas that they want to grow their leadership in or grow their business operational understanding in. And so I'm coming alongside them to mentor their own growth as a leader and their own education and development in the operations of their own company. So that is number 3. Number 4, as you can tell, I have in brackets that this is not me, but sometimes the COO is the MVP, the most valuable player. This is your star player, an internal expert who's been coming up through the ranks and they just know so much. They have in-depth knowledge about the business and they're really good at organization and leadership. And so they've just been promoted. And then they're now in that COO seat. Part of that is that institutional knowledge that lives within them and often their dedication to that business because they probably have been with that owner or that leader for a long time, right? This is not me because I haven't been inside your business that long. Now I might become a very important player. In fact, I will, but I am not coming up through the ranks. But some COOs do for very good reason. The next option is the balancer. This is usually when somebody is coming in to work alongside the CEO who may have some particular strengths and balances, and the COO has complementary strengths. And so it's like a little perfect duo that they can balance each other out, right? Hence the balancer. The next one is the heir apparent. Note, this is also not me. This is usually somebody within the business who part of the legacy plan or part of the exit strategy of that owner or leader is that their COO is the heir apparent who is going to take over that CEO role in the future. Now, again, that's not me. The way that I work is I'm working myself out of a job. Like, my goal is to help businesses grow to the point that they don't want to have a fractional COO. They want to have an internal COO eventually, and likely bring somebody up through the ranks in order to bring them in. So I might be helping set up the heir apparent into this position if they're the right fit for that kind of role, and maybe helping mentor them alongside the current CEO, but I am not the heir apparent, at least not yet. Maybe someday I'll get into some cool business opportunity where I realize that I want to take over someone's business, but right now, that's not me. And then the seventh kind is the partner. So the partner is somebody who comes in and works side by side and shares responsibilities, similar to the balancer, but it really is like collaborative leadership approach where they're sharing in some of the same responsibilities, and it's sort of like a two heads are better than one kind of situation. And then the eighth, and this is often me, 99% of the time, is the hybrid COO, which basically just means that we adopt the traits from all of those other areas that best serves that organization's needs at the time. So a little bit of a chameleon. That's another reason why sometimes it's difficult for me to really explain what it is that I do or what problems people come to me with, because sometimes it's that they need a change agent. Sometimes it's that the CEO is feeling overwhelmed and needing support as a partner or as a mentor. Sometimes they need somebody to take over the executor doer. So they're bringing in my whole team that we're plugging in, bolting on an entire operations team to really make sure that we're executing the vision and the operational day-to-day pieces of the business. Sometimes that means I'm the balancer. My strengths are helping balance some areas that maybe aren't the strength of the leader. But 99% of the time, this is me. The only two of the 8 that I am not is your heir apparent or your MVP who's come up through the ranks. Otherwise, I'm pulling from all of these different ways in which COOs support companies and making sure that I am dialing that in to be the right hybrid. So this has been part 1 of our series, What the Heck Even is a COO and Why Do I Need One? I'm going to be going live every single day for the next 12 days to be able to talk about this, break down some of these to see like what areas might you need a COO. You don't necessarily always need someone who is going to be wearing all of those different hybrid hats. You may only need 1 or 2, but figuring out where might this support my business? Am I even ready for a COO? What are some of the preliminary steps that I might want to take before having a COO? How might I get support in that and still have an outside person? Those are all different things that I'm going to be exploring in this 12-part series. I'm very excited, but definitely go back, watch this whole thing if you're joining me a little later in the episode today, where I go through the elusive nature of what the COO role is and really be able to dive into those different areas, those 8 different roles or ways that a COO can show up. And then also remember, if you are interested in joining me this Saturday for my in-person Make 2024 the best year yet, get a handle on your time, your focus, your energy, be able to work less, rest unapologetically, be more productive while you're doing that, and create massive impact in the world. I'm super excited. Please talk to me about that. Drop a note below so we can get you signed up for that. Again, it's $1,111. And so it's a great investment. We're going to have some meals. We're going to have some great time. So please, please, please let me know if that's something that interests you. If it is something that you're interested in, but you're like, oh gosh, darn, Cassandra, I can't do this Saturday because of XYZ, but definitely keep me on a list. I want to do this in the future. Awesome. Let me know. Drop me a note. and let me know that you want to be on a list for this kind of planning session, because I've already had people asking for me to do this at various times and various places in the country. So I am jazzed about the idea of hosting some more of these in-person sessions. The bonus is that people are going to be going away with their completed calendar that looks similar to mine. So let me know, and tune in tomorrow when we get into part 2 of our What the Heck Even is a COO. So thank you all, and I'll see you later. Bye.